Hi, this is the Electrical Engineering Advising session for the spring of 2021. Let's walk through. So one of the first things that I wanted to talk about was the math minor. Is if you are on the 2018, 19, and earlier catalogs, if you complete all the required math courses for the electrical engineering degree, then you will get a math minor. If you once we hit 2019, the math department has increased their unit count for the math minor, so you will require an extra class. Quickly to look at when you register, this is posted on your My Academics page. There's a when can I register link. This is the timing for when you will register based on your earned units. This is not applied units, this is earned units, which is at the top of your degree works. Again, so this is earned hours, not applied hours. Just a reminder that you cannot take upper division courses until you've completed 45 units in the School of Engineering and the College of Arts and Sciences. In business, that's 60 units. Now that is the applied units, so that's earned and in progress. For diversity, I want you to remember that you have to take your level 1 diversity course before you can take your level 2. So for many of you, Engineering 103 was your level 1 course, and level 2, you're taking that with a religious studies course. But if you hadn't completed the level 1, you would not be able to register for the level 2. Same with religious studies, you have to take the lower before you take the upper, which seems to make sense. But what you don't, a lot of people want to end up taking both religious studies courses in the same semester, and that's not allowed. So plan ahead. So briefly, when we talk about courses for electrical engineering, this is what you can expect for the following semester. So this is the spring 21 semester. This is the following fall. So we're talking spring and then fall of 2021. So you'll want to make sure that you register for 460 and 492. These are offered only in the spring, so you cannot put either of these off to the fall. Also, within the next, this is people who are thinking of graduating, you want to make sure that you've completed 2 electrical engineering electives. Make sure that you've completed your public speaking, your ethics course, and trying to make sure your core is done. Also, a lot of students are, as you get up in units, you might remember that you've put off the language requirement. Anyway, if you are in that situation and you need to get your language requirement done quickly, there is a really great way over intersession this year. Intersession A, which starts November 30th, you could take Spanish 101. Intersession B, you could take Spanish 102. And then in the spring semester, you could take Spanish 3. So again, for some students who feel like, oh, am I going to have to stay up the summer? If you were thinking summer, you might readjust to intersession. So when we talk about electrical engineering electives, all students who major in electrical engineering are required to take 2. But I just want you to know that there are no EE electives offered spring 2021. So these are specific electives that we pre-approved for EE students. So unfortunately, we're not offering any this semester. If you are on the computer science track and you have some prereqs, you can take Comp 340, 375, and 380 are approved. But anything outside of this realm will have to be approved by Dr. Lamori. So there is a process where he will approve you to take an elective, like maybe you wanted to take biomaterials or something, and he'll walk you through the process so that you can have it pre-approved, take the course, and then he'll apply it to your EE electives. But this needs to be done before you take the class. Also, if many of you maybe have gotten an email from the registrar that you need to submit a petition to graduate, we ask that you do this a year before you graduate, but oftentimes the system will prompt you when you've hit 90 units, which is for many students not a year before they graduate. If you've submitted one, the only way to know that it's complete is if you have a date. Once you have a date in your graduation date, an actual date, then that means your petition has been approved. If you submit a petition to graduate and there's no date, that means there's some kind of issue and maybe you have to submit again. So your advisor can help you follow up with that. For juniors, this is what you'll be thinking of taking. You want to be in signals and systems, embedded system design, and electronics too. We also want you to be in engineering ethics this semester if possible, and there's room for some core. I know many students, if you're in the junior level in the fall, maybe you didn't take Math 311 or you had to drop it, you can add it in the spring. You can take it as a co-rec for 350, but you cannot take 350 if you have not either taken Math 311 or are also not concurrently taking Math 311. And then as you look ahead to next fall, this is fall of 2021, you'll be looking at getting into senior design, 430, 470, and 320. So the very full schedule in the fall. So now this is a point where if you're watching this and you're not declared, now's a great time to declare your major. Before you get to be a junior, we need to know how many students we're expecting for courses. So if you are an undeclared student and you have been kind of gearing up towards being an electrical engineer, now is the time to submit your major declarations. You can find that on your My Academics page. You'll have to click on registrar forms, and then you can choose the declaration of major for the School of Engineering. You'll get an advisor in this discipline, and you can always change your mind. You can add a minor, subtract a minor at any time, but it is important for you to declare. So sophomores, that's probably who I was talking to, that you might think about declaring right now or after registration is over. So if you're a sophomore, meaning this is the start of your second year, then for this coming spring, we recommend you take circuits, prob stats, statics, calc 3, and then either thermodynamics or physics 272. Just know that if you don't take circuits this spring, then you cannot take any of the EE classes in the fall. So this is the most important class for you to complete. Also, continuing with your math is important to continue to complete all of the math in the EE program. And we do usually offer circuits in the summer. They are offering circuits over inter-session. So if getting circuits done looks like it's a problem, you might think about those options. For the fall, you'll be taking Elec 311 and Math 311, nicely, and then Elec 340 and Elec 301. First year students, so these are students who probably don't need to declare yet, but if you're looking at long-term for electrical engineering, you'll be just following the common curriculum that you've been outlined. So sticking with the next engineering 102, 103, chemistry, math, and physics, and then continuing with the engineering core. So just a quick note on intersession, we do have a number of courses that are going to be of interest to many EE students. So Dr. Kramer's teaching signals and systems in the month of November. So if that's something that sounds good to you to get it out of the way, you might start to make that plan. Also thermodynamics is offered and engineering 102, just in case that hasn't been completed for you. And then in January, like I said, we're offering circuits with Dr. Lamori. We're offering a EE elective in January with Dr. Kim. So if you're trying to graduate, this might be a really good option for you. Also, statics is required for EE, so you might think about getting that. If you want to take anything outside of USD, just note that we are accepting online classes for this intersession. And anything outside of USD must be pre-approved. Please use the appropriate links in the My Academics page to get that done. And it's classes outside of USD are not allowed in your last 30 units. So if this is your intersession and you're graduating in May, then you cannot take a course outside of USD except for extenuating circumstances. And to find those out, you can always email me or Dr. Olson. Finally, your next steps. So now that you've sat through this, you can email your advisor, your faculty advisor, with a marked up flowchart, which you can find on the USD website in the degrees section. And then just mark off every class that you've already taken, circle the courses that you're planning to take, pop that in an email. Also include any information for your advisor that, like my plan to get my language requirement done is this, or I am missing this math class and I plan to take it over the summer or something like that. Anything relevant that you want to communicate to your advisor. Sending this ahead will help reduce the time that you have to spend with your advisor and your advisor has to block out for you. So If it's very cut and dry, they may release your hold right away, and it also can just inform a better advising session for them. That's all I have. Take care.